Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the city of Saint Petersburg, Russia, northern capital of our country, where we continue our amazing adventures. My name is Sergey Baklykov, behind the camera Rinat Kutlu-Akhmetov, and you're watching Real Russia channel, the deepest insight into the real Russian life with no fake, no bullshit. In this video we came to the beginning of the main streets of the city of Saint Petersburg, which is called Nevsky Prospect, Nevsky Avenue, dedicated to Alexander Nevsky, of course. This is a huge historical personality. Check out about him more. Today just not about him, but about the street named after him, Nevsky Prospect. This is really a central street in St. Petersburg because it goes right next to the Palace Square and Winter Palace, where, let me to remind you, was the main residence of Peter the Great. Staying here, I want to remind you that the city was founded in 1703 from a blank list, and that's why this is the city where a very good symmetry and all the streets are pretty straight, probably the most straight streets in the whole Russia, in a whole country. And what about the landscape here? It's pretty flat. In St. Petersburg, almost no hills, and this is definitely a pretty comfortable city for pedestrian walks. Nevsky Prospect, house number 1, and look at these address boards. You know, they all designed, at least in the historical part of the city, as a paper parcel, and it is symbolize a royal's decree. And now look at all of these historical buildings in St. Petersburg. Please notice that they all goes right next to each other, so there are no spaces between the residential buildings, and the only way to get inside of the yards is through the arc. So that's why St. Petersburg is known as the city of arcs. By the way, that's one of them. That's an arc, and this is the only way to get inside of the yards. So let's get inside into one of the yards in St. Petersburg. And once we got inside of the yards, here you can also see one of the famous so-called yard wells, which is actually, you know, closed with the buildings from all sides. This is a really well, a yard well. Famous yards well. They are all over in the historical city center of St. Petersburg. This is a typical one. They all are different, but they all are wells because they all are limited with the buildings. That's really one of the features of St. Petersburg. But let's continue our walk through the Nevsky Prospect of St. Petersburg. Well, same as in Moscow, they have such a, you know, red buses that makes tours over the historical city center of St. Petersburg. I enjoyed a lot. A lot of boutiques, stores, restaurants, cafes, bars. It's all here in the atmosphere of 18th, 19th century. One of the things I have seen in St. Petersburg only, a lot of terminals like this, from where you can get to your Instagram profile and pay the money and print out the photograph right from the Instagram. Now this is a bridge over the Moika River. That's where it's crossing with Nevsky Prospect. One more thing I have seen in Saint Petersburg, only on a zebra they have an arrows that shows that if you go there, go here, not there. Now look at these pedestrian panels. They are covering the whole Nevsky Prospect. Lamp posts at Nevsky Prospect. They all looks great, looks like this, and of course according to a whole general style of the historical city center of Saint Petersburg. And now this is a Kazan Cathedral at Nevsky Prospect of Saint Petersburg. The building which where belonged to Zinger company, and now they're located the main office, the main headquarters of vk.com, the most popular social network in Russia. You know, let's say in Europe, in the United States, the most popular social network Facebook, but in Russia it's VK. On the background of this, there a Church of the Savior on Blood, one of the main sightseeings in Saint Petersburg. Absolutely amazing and beautiful church, beautiful cathedral, which is located on the embankment of Griboyedov channel, river channel. And we will go there too, but not in this episode. Okay, come on. And now this is a famous Гостиный двор of Saint Petersburg, the guest yards, which was built 230 years ago in 1785. This is a mall, but a great and very beautiful mall built in a neoclassicism style. We have something like this in the city of Ufa. I was making a video about this more than 2 years ago, but this one even bigger and even more beautiful. Almost all buildings have tubes which is painted in the same color as the wall where they are mounted in. So you can look at any building and you will see that the tubes have the color of the building. That's Saint Petersburg. And here we can see a famous Mariinsky Theater. It's right in front of you. And next to Mariinsky Theater, in front of this, there's a Yeliseyev store. Well, I guess you understand that Yeliseyev was a very rich person in the Russian Empire, and he built this store many years ago, and it still looks amazing. Well, really enjoy Saint Petersburg. No matter where your feet will step, you will find a great sights, great buildings. And you know, even on the Nevsky Prospect of Saint Petersburg, how it can be without a car crash. So now we can see a car crash right on Nevsky. You know, Audi and Mercedes-Benz, and I'm sure that somebody have filmed this on a dash cam, because this is Russia, the country, the capital of dash cams. This is the only city where I can see that they have straight arrays, and arrays that show the direction goes straight. Because let's say in Ufa, in Moscow, they're just, you know, just the lights, and everyone understands by default that if there are no array, then it means straight. But here in Saint Petersburg, in every traffic light, there an arrow straight. One more embankment, an embankment of Fontanka River. Let's look at this too. So here we can understand that actually Nevsky Prospect cross at least 3 river channels. The channel of Moika River, the channel of Griboyedov, and the channel of Fontanka River. So now I guess you see why Saint Petersburg is known as the city of the embankments and river channels. Nice sculpture where we can see a man's ass. Well, I'm really looking forward to get back in the summertime here, that to take a trip on a boat and go over all these river channels. It's going to be great. Just imagine you in a t-shirt in a summer's day when it's a warm weather and the warm air, you know, just beating in your face, and you ride on a boat all around these amazing buildings. What about the public transportation in Saint Petersburg? You know, that's the usual buses, trolley buses, and they have a separate line for them, which is marked with an A letter. That's the line for buses. But, you know, some impudent drivers driving by a bus line as well. Sometimes in a cultural capital of Saint Petersburg, of course, you can meet street artists who are singing, playing the music instruments, and making other artistic things. Look at this, Elton John coming to town at the 28th of May 2016. Well, and of course, McDonald's is also here, poisoning people. The bench right in the street, right at Nevsky Prospect. Want to get a spirit of the Soviet Union? Go to Soviet Cafe. And this is how a typical street phone looks like in Saint Petersburg. I guess here used to be glasses, but now they removed because I guess the people were sticking paper ads on them. Step by step, but finally we came to the ends of Nevsky Prospect, Nevsky Avenue. The distance of this is 4.5 kilometers, and it was a really huge enjoyment to walk through this, because everywhere there was an amazing historical buildings and just a very nice atmosphere. And no wonder that Nevsky Prospect ends up with the square of Alexander Nevsky, where in the center of this is the monument, the statue of Saint Alexander Nevsky. Now you can see this on your screen. Well, but it's always depends on how you look at this. You know, it can be as the beginning as the end. Okay, my name is Sergey Baklykov, behind the camera Rinat Skutlo-Akhmetov, and I really hope that you enjoyed this walk through Nevsky Prospect of Saint Petersburg, where we try to get your attention to many little things featuring Saint Petersburg. Comment, like, subscribe, and come to Saint Petersburg yourself, because I'm sure that no matter how good we show this, anyway, never through the camera you will not get a full feeling of how great it is. So come to Russia, come to Saint Petersburg. Church of the Savior on blood. On blood means that on a blood of Russian Tsar Alexander II, whose carriage were bombed right here, and actually that's where he have found his death. That's where he were killed, and on this place, on his blood, were built this amazing Orthodox church of the Savior on blood.